This is very controversial. Are women the source of many of the problems we have in society today? Most people would answer it's due to toxic males. For almost all human history, men have been on top. But since 1990, and particularly in the last 15 years, women have had a great influence in society. In Australia, for instance, the Labor Party, which is the government at the present time, has more females in government positions in Parliament than males. It has more female ministers than male ministers. Let that sink in. Now, women have great sympathy for the underdog, for refugees. The modern woman at university that becomes a lawyer, becomes a doctor, that becomes a teacher, becomes a journalist, where they are now in majorities in Australia in most of those areas and often in other countries in Western Europe. Well, they're taught at university by other women who are told that males are toxic. All males are toxic, but especially white Christian males or white Israeli Jewish males. And yet these women favour refugee entry more than probably males do. I haven't got statistics, but it's pretty obvious that this problem with immigration in Great Britain and Europe and Australia and New Zealand and Canada corresponds with the growing influence of women. Welfare services have increased because of women's growing power. Women would rather rest on the state than rest on the male in the family for help. That's another reason to wander off a bit why women aren't getting married. They don't have to. In, say, Australia, I'll use Australia as an example, but it's typical of so-called first world, whatever that means. That probably means lucky people in the past, but not so lucky now. Well, a woman that's unemployed or a single mother, they get payment from the government. And it's usually not going to make them rich, but they can cope. There's also women's organisations through Parliament, Ministry for Women and all those kind of things that help. Now, when a woman retires, she'll get a pension. These days, she'll get a superannuation as well. So what the male provided before, she doesn't need. And if she can set up a very good police force, although that's got a question mark over it, she'll also be protected up to a point anyhow. So she doesn't need a male. Now, it's quite inconsistent, and because women base their basic drives on feelings more than males, they tend to hate males now and find males toxic. But the irony is, they bring in refugees that have much more toxic males, if we talk in terms of behaviour such as rape and violence, than do the so-called established European origin males in Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. So this is just weird. They're favouring bringing in violent males when they hate toxic white males whom they think are the pits. Thank you.